more important to know music or to be able to feel it, to have a strong musical instinct? Many amazing artists are not musically educated in the traditional sense, like Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles. Some others are, like Pat Metheny or Steve Vai. What's the best way to go? I'll give you some points to reflect on in the next few minutes, hoping it can help you choosing what to study and how. This crossed your mind many times, and everybody at some point gets caught into this argument with a friend, another musician, and even online, and that can be harsh. If you want to be a great soloist, a fingerstyle player, or maybe a singer-songwriter, do you need to know music? Should you look into books, courses, teachers, or just dive into your heart and soul and create? You can let me know in the comments your opinion. I'm curious to know what you think. First of all, we have to address what knowing music means. Growing as a musician is really tricky. You are bombarded with informations, especially today with YouTube, social media, and you're usually not experienced enough to understand what's best for you. Tommy Emmanuel didn't study music, as well as Paul McCartney. Does that mean they are not musically trained? You're actually training yourself every time you pick up the guitar and put some effort in it. Tommy spends his whole life with the guitar in his hands working at his craft. The Beatles actually learned and played countless songs for countless hours in front of distracted crowds that they had to entertain by contract. They learned the craft of putting together great songs by direct experience. Let me tell you, untrained musicians are a myth. Stevie Ray Vaughan didn't go to music school, but spent his whole life trying to get the best he could at guitar. That is studying. It's just that you make your own path. The fact that Jimi Hendrix probably couldn't spell the interval on his own Hendrix chord doesn't mean he didn't work hard at understanding how it sounded, where it worked, and where it didn't. The trick with this approach is that you have to be really good at self-improving. You have to have a clear vision of what is working in your path and what is not. You have to be your own teacher, and that's not an easy task. A teacher or a course can be a great help. You could cut corners, and you're actually handed tools that took others centuries to come up with. Why should this be bad? There's only one case in which it actually is: if rules and music paper become a cage. If they restrain your ability to look inside your soul and put it into music. That happens. Sometimes trained musicians get caught into how much they know. Quantity is never quality, especially in art. And you don't need 2 million screwdrivers. You just need a few that work. if you wanted to work in the music business though? Well, things change there. You need to be prepared in the language of music, because that is expected from you. My job is playing for other people. I've been doing it for 20 plus years and I need to be able to read a chart with chords or actual notes. You know the joke, if you want to stop a guitarist from playing, just put some shit music in front of him. Well, you do need to know how to read, at least a little. You have to know what chords, scales, substitutions work in what situation and style, and be able to come up with parts that fit complex harmonies. And if you think about it, often untrained artists get help from trained professionals, like producers. The Beatles had George Martin that put all that sparkle of classical arrangements and beautiful modulations, especially in the endings. Nobody knows for sure, but it's common opinion that many musical smart choices that the Beatles made were Martin's ideas. So my take on this is that you cannot substitute neither the input you get from the outside world, be it a teacher or just learning from music directly, nor the hard work and self-awareness you have to put in it. That hard work is not noodling on the guitar, it's working hard at getting better. Having a beautiful soul cannot compensate lack of hard work. You want to go the traditional education route? Great. You don't? You gotta be very good at knowing what choices to make and be conscious if you're improving and what you should change if you're not. That isn't easy, really few people can do it. But again, theory, scales, chords should never be a cage. They should be tools that you keep in your shed, and you need one, you take it and use it. But you need to put your heart and soul first, and then speak them using the language that you've learned. Music. Subscribe and ring the bell. Ciao.